Hello, I'm Popcorn Sprinkle, and today we're going to be reviewing The Source Family, directed by Jody Willie and Maria Demopoulos. The Source Family is a documentary about a larger-than-life colorful hippie cult known as the Aquarian Tribe. The leader of the pack was Jim Bakker, who changed his name to Father Yod, and then later changed his name again to Yehovah. Jim Bakker shot airplanes out of the sky. He lived through World War II, killed 2 men with his bare hands, robbed a few banks, and then used the money to fund The Source. On April Fool's Day 1969, Jim Bakker opened The Source restaurant, which was the first health food joint in the country. He was the pioneer of spiritualized vegetarian restaurants like Cafe Gratitude. So he would use the restaurant to draw in the family members, where they would then work and serve household names like Marlon Brando, John and Yoko, Warren Beatty, Joni Mitchell, and my personal favorite, Goldie Hawn. Charlene Peters went to the restaurant looking to recruit some Jesus types for a photo shoot, and she ended up being the one who got recruited. Jim Bakker, who at this time was going by Father Yod, gave her the name Isis Aquarian, and she became one of his 13 wives, living in the Hollywood Hills, driving around in a purple Rolls Royce. I'm the cult of personality, like Joseph Stalin and Gandhi. Oh, I'm the cult of personality, the cult of personality, the cult of personality. In 1972, 140 Aquarians put their money together and moved into what they called the Mother House, which was once owned by the Chandler family of the LA Times. Father Yod transformed sex, drugs, and rock and roll into a genuine spiritual practice by taking ideas from the best of the best and putting that together and using it as a foundation for his spiritual teachings. They were eventually pressured to move from their home by law officials and neighbors who were spooked by the Manson family killings that took place literally a few streets over just a couple years earlier. All 140 Aquarians moved into a 3-bedroom house where they recorded over 65 psychedelic albums that are now considered collector's items. Father Yod, now known as Yehovah, unleashed his inner rock star full throttle when he adopted the teachings of sex magic. This was a very hairy period when a lot of heartache ensued. At the end of 1974, Yehovah sold the restaurant, and him and his family packed up and moved to Kauai, where things took a turn for the worst. Not only were they not wanted on the island, but they misspent their money on a boat to catch fish and a plane to spot them. And this is where the journey would end for Yehovah when he decided to go hand gliding without any lessons. They launched him into the sky, and as soon as he hit the peak, the ferocious winds stopped, and the family members were forced to say goodbye on August 25th, 1975. The word cult, derived from the word culture, generally has a negative connotation, but in my opinion, in this situation, that wasn't quite the case. I mean, these people did live like extremists. It wasn't all good and it wasn't all bad, but that's life, right? I mean, the one thing that these people all had in common is that they were craving a sense of family, and that's what they became. They didn't kill anyone. They didn't cap off their experience with a cookies and Kool-Aid party. They were just a group of veggie-eating hippies that like to meditate. Really far out veggie-eating hippies that like to meditate and stuff. As for Jim Bakker, what I saw in the documentary was a talented, powerful, gifted, eccentric man with a priceless sense of humor. But on the flip side was a man struggling with a messiah complex and substance abuse. So, you know, it all comes at a cost. As for the family members, they seem to be well-adjusted people that feel they gained a PhD in spirituality from their experience. What we gained is a kick-ass documentary with amazing footage, music, and photos. I saw this movie 3 times and love it. The filmmakers did such a good job accentuating the comedic moments to give this film the perfect balance. So on that note, I would recommend this movie to anyone who has an interest in the history of LA, cults, health food, meditation, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and of course, groupies and followers. So that's like 90% of LA, right? Right. All right, well, there you have it. Popcorn out.
This is all improvisation, you know. Everything you will hear here, we are doing it for you. We have not rehearsed a thing. We never know what we're going to get into. We live in the eternal now. When we get there, somehow it always happens, man. It's a new sound, see? You're going to hear at the same time, believe it or not, that we hear.